Hi, we're the Foolish Couple. I'm Andrew.
And I am Minna.
We're functional nutrition specialists and success coaches. We created the Foco Academy to help people achieve whole life success by applying the success principles to 3 areas of life that money can't buy, which is your health, time, and your relationships.
Now, when I first moved to the Pacific Northwest, we went to see something called a Salmon Ladder. And I was wondering, why the heck would a fish climb a ladder? So in case you don't know, here's how that happens. Salmon instinctually would want to swim back to its original spawning ground to lay eggs and die. Somehow, we put a dam in the path, blocking the fish from swimming back to where it wants to be. And the dam was so high and the water so strong that there's no way a fish can swim through it. So people put in ladders, basically small steps for the fish to jump up one step at a time until it goes over the dam and swim towards its destination. Now, that doesn't only happen to fish, does it? As we were all heading towards our goal, somebody decided to put a dam right in front of our paths, didn't they? In March of 2020, our life basically stopped. Everything went into a halt. People were told by somebody high up and supposed to know what's best for us that we must all stay home and don't come out. And then they started putting a ladder, step by step. First step is to stay home. Next step, get connected so they can all work from home. And then stay away from all human connections as much as possible. Then the mask mandate, the vaccines, everything that came step by step. And you were told to follow these steps so that you can get over the dam and continue to your destination. But wait, we are humans. We're not fish. We don't act purely based on our instincts. We can think, can't we? What's stopping us from thinking for ourselves, from making our own decisions on what our path should be? So I'm just going to say it. We're all getting played. Yeah, but how, you might ask?
Well, there are 2 basic human emotions that is working against us. Number 1, the media infuse a lot of fear and uncertainty into our consciousness. The more news you're exposed to, the more afraid you're going to be. And when you're scared, you go into fight or flight mode, meaning that you're letting your instincts take over. So the more fearful you are, the less you want to think for yourself and make your own decisions. Number 2, humans are social animals. We want to connect to other people. When our human connections were cut off, we moved to social media and the news because that's the only connection that we had access to. And humans like to follow the herd, right? If you see a whole bunch of people heading in one direction, you're most likely to go follow along with them, right? And what happens when you follow? You're not deciding for yourself where you want to go. Most of the time, you don't even know where you're going. But wait, the salmon ladder was there to help the fish, right? Isn't that a good thing? Well, what we haven't told you, and by the way, we know this only because we Googled it, is that most of the time, the ladder doesn't work out too well for the fish, for the salmon, because most of the salmon don't actually make it to the top. So they don't make it all the way up. So for us, we're always been a little bit foolish and we tend to do things a little differently. We don't want to go up the ladder, so we decided to take a different path. We practically uprooted ourselves from our home of 20 years and moved everything. Our stuff, our work, our cats, everything got moved 2,000 miles away. We don't want to follow these steps, so we chose a different path. You can also choose your own path or follow the steps that is laid out for you. Remember that you're not a fish, you can think, so think about what you have lost and what you want back in your life. Just remember there are always options. You can choose your own path. You probably heard people talk about the new normal, but are you choosing to accept the new normal, the new standards that someone has laid out for you, or do you want to define your own new normal?
Either way is fine. It's your life, your choice. All we are saying is that if you want your new normal to look better than your old one, then you have to start thinking for yourself. Take a look at your current situation. Are you happy where you are? And don't just say, it's okay, because that is your way of telling yourself that you're not happy. It's not okay. You're not satisfied. And you're just dealing with it, living with it because you feel like you don't have a choice. The way we see it, the next 12 months, there are going to be more steps on the ladder that you will be asked to jump over. With each step, more fish will fail and die. If you want to design your own new normal, like we did, then I'm going to ask you to follow us, because over the next several months, we're going to share our thought process with you. And we categorize our decisions and actions based on 5 categories: your health and wellness, fitness and assets, relationships and connections, economy and employment, and your social and contributions. Many people died in 2020. I've lost my own mother last year. Many people have lost their jobs, shut down their businesses. Heck, there are people getting hurt fighting to buy toilet paper. Do you see how ridiculous this new normal is? And over the next 12 months, we think that things are going to get worse. And we'll expand on that in our next block. Now, in our next block, we'll be talking about innate immunity versus vaccinated immunity, and why you may be dependent on the mRNA vaccine for the rest of your life. You don't want to miss that one. Until next time, love what you live and live what you love.